Once upon a time, not very long ago, the earth was green. Not just a little green. It was a planet of forests. From the Amazon to the Congo, from the Himalayas to the Mississippi, from Siberia to Indonesia, trees ruled the earth. They stood tall like ancient gods, drinking the rain, dancing in the wind, giving food to the animals and air to humanity. It was the year 1750. The earth was home to 6 trillion trees. Yes, 6 trillion. That's 6,000 billion. Enough to cover most of the land on earth. Trees were the earth's lungs. They absorbed carbon, released oxygen, created rain, and gave balance to the climate. There was no climate change. No global warming. No heat waves. No floods. No poison skies. If those 6 trillion trees still existed today, the earth would be a paradise. The forests would absorb all the CO2 we produce. The world would be green, cool, clean. But we didn't protect that heaven. Then something happened. Men came across oceans on wooden ships. They carried guns, crosses, flags, and diseases. They said they came to civilize. But they brought axes and greed. Wherever they went, forests fell. The Caribbean was stripped for sugar. The Americas were cleared for tobacco and cotton. India's jungles were harvested for tea and railways. Africa's trees were taken for rubber, gold, and empire. To colonizers, trees were not sacred. They were just wood. Forests were obstacles. Nature was something to conquer, not respect. Plantations replaced jungles. Rows of coffee, sugarcane, and rubber stood where mighty forests once roared with life. This was not development. It was destruction. The colonizers didn't just enslave people. They enslaved the earth. By 1800, the earth began to look different. Forests were replaced by neat rows of export crops. Cash, not life, grew from the soil. Africa's forests fed European factories. Asia's trees became railroads and tea boxes. South America's jungles turned into cattle ranches. Entire species vanished. Rivers dried up. Rains shifted. The balance was broken. But nobody listened. The trees kept falling. Then came the machines. In the 1900s, the world became a factory. Steel, coal, oil, gas. Everything burned. And trees became fuel. The industrial age brought cars, trains, and war. It needed wood. It needed land. Forests were cut faster than ever. The world chose profit over planet. Even after colonization ended, the same system continued. Multinational companies took over. They cut down the Amazon for beef. The Congo for cobalt. Indonesia for palm oil. By 2025, we lost half the trees. From 6 trillion to less than 3 trillion. We didn't just lose trees. We lost time. Now, in 2025, the earth is struggling to breathe. Heat waves kill thousands. Floods destroy cities. Wildfires eat forests before we can cut them. Droughts kill food. Storms come without warning. And every year, we pour 36 billion tons of CO2 into the sky. But we only have half the trees to absorb it. We talk about green energy. We talk about solar panels. But we forget the oldest, most powerful solution, trees. Earth is tired. She coughs with smoke-filled skies. She burns with desert winds. She floods in one place and dies of thirst in another. She is sick. And we did this. The earth is not punishing us. She is begging us to stop. But what do we do? Just when the planet needed a healer, the most powerful nation chose a showman in a blue suit. He came dancing, waving, shouting to crowds. Drill, baby, drill. Not plant. Not preserve. He pulled out of climate agreements. Laughed at scientists. Called trees a joke. Said oil brings jobs. And the people cheered. Instead of planting forests, he planted pipelines. Instead of protecting Earth, he protected polluters. In reply, China planned to build hundreds of new thermoelectric power plants to burn coal. He called himself a man of peace. Wants a Nobel Peace Prize. He sent shooters from US military to ease the pain of starving children. But he brought war against nature and humanity. And the Western world followed his madness. We forgot what trees did for us. One tree absorbs 20 kilograms of CO2 a year. A mature forest brings rain, holds soil, cools the air. Forests are homes. Medicines. Water sources. Carbon banks. 6 trillion trees could have easily handled our emissions. Instead, we destroyed them. And now, we talk of carbon capture machines. But the machines were already here. Tall. Green. Silent. They were called trees. Colonization didn't just erase people. It erased nature. It created a system where Earth is always second. Even now, this system continues. Corporations pretend to be green. Governments make speeches. But forests still fall. And now, we see the final truth. The same powers that colonized the world, now plan to control its end. They want to go nuclear, nothing else is left to erase humanity. All the ammunition is spent on Gaza and Ukraine wars. The leaders in blue suits speak of peace. But behind closed doors, they prepare for war. Nuclear bombs are being moved. Missiles are tested. Satellites are tracking. Generals are planning. One button can end cities. One lie can start extinction. If the trees won't fall fast enough, maybe fire will finish the job. They are not saving the planet. They are saving their power. But there will be no Earth left to rule. We still have 3 trillion trees. That's 3 trillion reasons to hope. But only if we start planting. Not next year. Not in 2050. Now. The poorest farmer with a seed is more powerful than the richest man with a missile. Planting trees is not a campaign. It is a revolution. A war for survival. A prayer for the future. In 1750, Earth had 6 trillion trees. It was heaven. In 2025, half are gone. Earth is turning into a furnace. By 2050, many places may be unlivable. Not because of fate. Because of us. We followed colonizers. We worshipped profit. We trusted suits with blue ties and red buttons. Now, we must trust green. Every tree planted is a message. We want to live. The media won't tell you. The leaders won't save you. But the earth is still waiting. Pick up a seed. Pick up a shovel. Pick up your soul. Plant. Before it's too late.